Hey there, my name's Waddles, and today I'm going to go over 4 simple and small farms that you can build in the 1.13 update that will help, of course, with 1.13 things. So basically, this is going to be 4 tutorials in one. I was trying to come up with a 5th design because I like the number 5, but I couldn't do it, so 4 is going to have to cut it today. Now, like I was just saying, of course, all of these farms will help with something in 1.13. The point of all of these designs is not to be crazy efficient, it's to be very simple and easy to build. There is, of course, better versions of these farms, maybe automatic ones or stuff like that, but these are small and simple farms that you could build probably on your first night or two of a survival world. There will be timestamps in the description to each farm. Farm number 1, though, is a very simple kelp farm. So what you're going to need to build this thing is some building blocks and some kelp. That's it. So here is the farm that I built right under the water here, and all that I have going on is a enclosed little kelp farm area. So you have your plants growing, then you can walk around and farm your plants, of course, not mining the bottom one. Now, this farm is really customizable. You could, of course, build this thing however small or big you want. So the whole idea is to dive underwater wherever you want. So we'll go right here and then start laying down floor blocks. Any blocks will do as long as you can plant kelp on them. So go ahead and test that out. Take a kelp and try and put it on it. If it works, then it works, and that's going to be good. So you want to lay out a floor however big you want it, and then you just want to enclose the thing with a wall. Now this thing can be as deep as you want it, but it needs to be at least 2 deep, right? Because if you built it like that, then your kelp is not going to grow anywhere, and you're going to plant or harvest the one that's supposed to grow. So it needs to be at least 2 deep, I guess, but it could be, I don't know, 20 deep if you wanted, whatever you really want, and it can be as big as you want. Then I went over here and just made it fancy. I put glass, I put sea pickles for lighting, and then specific spots in case I knock out this bottom one, so I know where to replant it so it's nice and clean. Now, of course, you could make this more, I guess, efficient and plant them everywhere too. That would totally work. And then, of course, when you're harvesting it, you'll punch them out and swim up. Everything floats. You pick it up just like that. So by now, this is a pretty known farm, but just in case you don't know, you can farm sea pickles. Maybe you want to do this so you can use sea pickles as lighting, maybe on the floor of your ocean, of your river, whatever you want to do, you want to light up stuff. So you want to farm sea pickles, and lots of them. All you're going to need is a sea pickle, some bone meal, and coral. That's it. So to get coral, you need a silk touch tool. You mine it up and take it wherever you want. Then you want to set up something in this shape down here under the water, because if you bone meal sea pickles when they're on coral, and only on coral, they will grow more sea pickles, just like you're seeing here. Now, of course, maybe as you just saw, I did technically waste a lot of bone meal on those bits that aren't growing anything like that. So really, you'd want to use some bone meal and then harvest up this thing. But the reason you're doing this shape here, a square with little bits pointing out of the middle, is because that's all that sea pickles can grow on. If I add in some over here and I continue to bone meal this middle one right there, nothing is going to happen. The sea pickles won't spread like that. They'll only spread in this shape. Now, you could build this thing however high or deep you want it. It just needs to be under the water completely here. So if you take the sea or the coral and put it up here, and then you try and do the same thing, it's just not going to work. It doesn't spread like that. It needs to be under the water. So even one under the water here should work in theory, just like that. It'll spread. Now, as you saw, it will spread downwards too, so that's kind of a cool thing. But like I said, you'd want to set this up so you can get lots of sea pickles everywhere. So after you do that, you could go and farm all of these. Of course, if you were in survival, you'd be actually getting them. And then you're ready to go again with this thing, more bone meal just like that. Farm, bone meal, harvest, bone meal, and so on. Real easy to build though. Swinging over here to our next farm, you're probably thinking, Waddles, this is not new. I know what this is. This is an ice farm. And I'd say you're absolutely correct. This is an ice farm, but you want to make an ice farm for the 1.13 update. The reason for that is you could make packed ice and, of course, blue ice now with normal ice. So all you need for this farm is some water, some building blocks, and a silk touch tool to harvest the ice. If you punch ice, it's not going to harvest. You need silk touch. Now, you also need to find somewhere that is cold. What that means is wherever you see snow. So up here in an extreme hills biome, I'm pretty high up. I'm at 99, but the surface of this thing is actually at 99. So that's a thing. You need to be above snow level or just in a cold biome, and you can make one of these things. Now, the key to making an ice farm is that you have 2 rows of water along a side. So I have a row right here along here, and then I have another row going along like that. The reason being is because that will create infinite water. Now, you want to cover your 2 rows, 2 of the outside rows like I've done here. If a row is fully covered like this, the water underneath it will not turn to ice, but all of this will. So when I harvest this ice, the water will refill just like that. Now, you can make this thing as big as you want it, but you probably want it at least bigger than like 2 by 2 or something, because that might not be the best. But the whole point is a perfect square or a rectangle, I suppose, and you'll be able to harvest the stuff and the water will replenish itself and you'll be good. Keep in mind, you need 9 ice to make a packed ice, and then you need 9 packed ice to make 1 blue ice. So that's pretty costly. I don't know if that's going to change how big or small you want this thing, but this might be a nice farm to set up so you can get the ice going. So you can make a tunnel or something like that that's super fast. And boom, right over here, hopefully you have your silk touch tool still, because you're going to need it for this one. This is a small turtle farm. Now, of course, this isn't the best way to build this thing. You're going to waste a lot of time standing around, but this is the easiest way to build it. So what you're going to need is some seagrass and some turtle eggs, and then you're going to need some building blocks and at least 1 sand. You will need sand. Now, the reason you want to build this thing is, of course, Scute, so you can make a turtle shell or some turtle potions, whatever you're trying to do. So turtles are interesting. Turtles will lay their eggs on their home beaches. I didn't pick those up. So let's pretend these turtles spawned right here just like that. You found them in the wild. That would probably be their home beach. When you breed these turtles, they will go and start their whole mating thing. They're going to lay an egg, or one of them will, on the beach here. Then what you want to do is take your silk touch tool and flip over into survival mode. Now, once this turtle stops doing its digging thing, eventually it will lay an egg. What you want to do is take your silk touch tool and pick up that egg whenever this guy decides that he's done laying his egg. Any minute now. Any minute. Okay, it's still going, and it's been like 30 seconds. So let's pretend this egg is the egg that guy laid. You take your silk touch tool and mine the egg so you can bring it home with you. Now, you're going to want at least 2 eggs to do this. You take it home and you build a container like this here. Any dimensions will really work. You need enough room for the turtles to kind of move around. You don't want to make it 1 by 1 because it will glitch out of it. Right? So take your eggs that you picked up, so I have 2 here, like that, and wait for these eggs to hatch. So pretending these eggs hatched, and then the turtles grew up, they would have each dropped 1 Scute, because that's when you get the Scute. Now, the reason you wanted to do that is because when you breed these new turtles, they will think this is their home beach now, and lay eggs in here. This will make a Scute farm for you. Now, of course, this isn't automatic or anything like that, so you're going to need to be around to pick up the Scute when they grow up. You can, of course, make other automatic collection systems and designs, but that's not the point of this video. Now, make sure these things are nice and lit up as well, because if it's not, mobs will spawn, and lots of mobs don't like the turtle, so you want to make sure these guys are safe. If you're in a difficulty where zombies can break doors, throw an iron door, not an acacia door or whatever other kind of door that a zombie could break, right? It is definitely time consuming to wait for an egg to hatch and for the turtle to grow up and all of that, but this is a very easy way to get lots of Scute, not very fast. But those are 4 simple 1.13 farms to help you get ahead in the 1.13 update. Maybe get some more sea pickles, get some turtle shells, I don't know, whatever you're trying to do. I hope some of this information here helped you out, maybe taught you something in this video. Leave a like if that's true. Subscribe if you really enjoyed my content. I have lots of 1.13 content, including guides to certain things and tutorials on other certain things. My name is Waddles. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.